Imagine walking into a room knowing some people don't respect you. Maybe they talk over you, maybe they dismiss your opinions, or worse, they pretend you don't exist. It's frustrating. It's tempting to react, to fight for acknowledgement, to demand respect. But what if I told you there's another way, a way that gives you power without losing control? A way the Stoics mastered centuries ago. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn 7 powerful Stoic principles to handle disrespect with strength, dignity, and wisdom. If you find value in these timeless lessons, subscribe and join us on this journey toward inner mastery. 1. Control your reaction. Epictetus, a Stoic master, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When someone disrespects you, your first instinct is to react, anger, frustration, or hurt. But reacting emotionally means they control you. The moment you let them dictate your emotions, you've already lost. Think about Theodore Roosevelt. As a young man, he was frail and frequently ridiculed for his weak physical state. But instead of lashing out, he built himself up, physically, mentally, and emotionally. He transformed into a symbol of resilience, proving that mastery over. One's reaction is the ultimate strength. Now picture this, you're at work and a colleague publicly mocks your idea. You feel the heat rising, the need to defend yourself, but instead of reacting, you pause, you take a deep breath, you meet their gaze with calmness. This silence speaks louder than any retaliation. It shows self-mastery. Stoicism teaches us that external events don't harm us, our judgment about them does. If you decide their words don't define you, they lose their power over you. We must remember, our strength lies in our ability to remain unshaken in the face of disrespect. And when we rise above it, we become untouchable. 2. Strength in indifference. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Respect from others is external. It's out of your control. The Stoic approach, stop seeking it. The moment you detach yourself from the need for approval, you become untouchable." Think about Abraham Lincoln. He was mocked, ridiculed, and often disrespected during his presidency. Yet, he did not waste his energy trying to change the minds of those who belittled him. Instead, he focused on his duty, leading the nation through its darkest hours. Over time, respect followed not because he sought it, but because he embodied unwavering purpose and resilience. Now, let's bring this into our own lives. Maybe it's a boss who undervalues your work. Maybe it's a family member who never acknowledges your efforts. Their opinions do not determine your worth. What matters is your character, your discipline, and your commitment to living virtuously. We do not beg for respect. We earn it by standing firm in who we are. And if respect never comes, then we remain unmoved, because our value does not depend on the fleeting judgments of others. 3. Respond with virtue. Seneca reminds us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. When someone disrespects you, the weak answer with disrespect. The wise respond with virtue. It's easy to be kind to those who are kind to us. But real character is tested when we stay virtuous, despite disrespect. Consider the story of Jackie Robinson, the first African-American player in Major League Baseball. He faced relentless racism, insults, threats, even violence. But how did he respond? With silence, with excellence, with unshakable discipline. He knew that responding with anger would only justify the hate against him. Instead, he let his game speak for itself. He let his dignity rise above the smallness of his enemies. Now, imagine a rude customer at a store shouting at an employee. The employee could argue back, but instead he remains calm. He listens. He responds with grace. This doesn't mean he's weak. It means he refuses to let another person's anger dictate his behavior. When we choose virtue over reaction, we rise above petty conflicts. We don't lower ourselves to their level, we transcend them, and that is real power. 4. Set boundaries, but do not seek revenge. Stoicism doesn't mean letting people walk over you. It means choosing your battles wisely. When someone continuously disrespects you, the solution isn't anger. It's setting firm boundaries while maintaining your inner peace. Consider the case of Eleanor Roosevelt. She faced harsh criticism and belittlement, not just from political opponents, but even from those within her own party. Yet instead of retaliating, she set boundaries through action, proving her worth through relentless advocacy for human rights. She did not seek revenge. She sought progress. If a friend constantly belittles you, distance yourself. If a boss undermines you, address it with professionalism and assertiveness. Boundaries aren't about revenge, they're about self-respect and the preservation of dignity. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal countless times, yet he never sought revenge. He maintained his principles, showing that true strength is in restraint, not retaliation. Ask yourself, is my response based on wisdom or emotion? If it's emotion, take a step back. Let go of the need to teach them a lesson. The lesson they need will come from life itself. We, as Stoics, do not need to prove our worth to the unwise. Our actions, our discipline, and our virtue speak louder than words. 5. Find freedom in letting go. At the core of Stoicism is this truth: you do not control other people. Trying to change them is wasted energy. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, lost everything in a shipwreck. Did he curse fate? No. He used the disaster to rebuild himself. He understood that suffering is inevitable, but how we respond to it defines who we are. When people don't respect you, see it as an opportunity, not a setback. It's a chance to practice patience, to strengthen your character, and to detach from the illusion that others define your worth. Consider the struggles of Frederick Douglass. Born into slavery, he had every reason to be consumed by resentment. Yet he chose the path of self-discipline and education, refusing to let the cruelty of others shape his destiny. He didn't seek approval, he sought mastery over himself, and in doing so, he reshaped history. Think about all the energy wasted on anger, on proving people wrong, on seeking validation. Now imagine redirecting that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. That's the Stoic way. We do not waste our strength on battles that do not serve us. Instead, we rise above, unshaken, untethered, and free. 6. Embrace voluntary discomfort. Seneca once said, "It is in times of security that the spirit should be preparing itself for difficult times. While fortune is bestowing favors on it, is the time for it to be strengthened against her rebuffs." True Stoic does not wait for adversity to strike before building resilience. We seek discomfort voluntarily. Why? Because hardship is inevitable, and when it comes, we must be ready. Consider the life of David Goggins, a former Navy SEAL and ultramarathon runner. He faced childhood abuse, obesity, and relentless self-doubt. But he refused to let hardship break him. Instead, he embraced suffering, training his mind and body to withstand pain. He became one of the toughest endurance athletes in history. His philosophy? Callous the mind. Seek discomfort before life forces it upon you. Think about the Navy SEALs. Their training is designed to push them beyond their limits, to embrace discomfort, to suffer now, so that when real battle arrives, they do not flinch. They do not train for comfort, they train for war. In our own lives, we can do the same. Take cold showers, fast intermittently, push yourself beyond what is easy and comfortable. When you do, disrespect from others becomes nothing more than noise. You've already forged your mind in fire. You become unbreakable. 7. Find strength in service. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What we do now echoes in eternity." The greatest way to rise above disrespect is to dedicate yourself to something greater than yourself. When we live for service, the small insults of others lose all meaning. Think of Mother Teresa. She was mocked, dismissed, and even ridiculed for her work. But did she stop? No. She continued her mission, untouched by the opinions of those who did nothing. She understood that her service was not about seeking validation, it was about fulfilling a higher purpose. Now, consider Martin Luther King Jr. He endured relentless hate, threats, and violence, yet he never allowed the disdain of others to weaken his resolve. He pressed forward, knowing that his purpose was greater than the noise of his detractors. His dedication to justice continues to echo through time. When we dedicate ourselves to a cause, whether it's helping others, mentoring, or creating something meaningful, the disrespect of others becomes irrelevant. We are too focused on building something lasting, something that echoes beyond our time. Our service gives us an inner strength that no insult can diminish. We do not waste energy on the fleeting opinions of others. We channel it into something that matters. Respect is a reflection of character, not of how others treat you. The more you practice these Stoic principles, the less others' opinions will affect you. So, which of these 5 lessons resonated with you the most? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found value in this, consider subscribing for more Stoic wisdom. Remember, true strength lies in self-mastery. Stay grounded. Stay unshaken.